Hey guys, what's up? In this video I want to go over why owning a used car and buying a used car is so much better than leasing a car. As you may know from prior videos, when I first got my first job, I leased a Subaru Crosstrek. At the time, it was my dream car, kind of. I wanted an all-wheel drive to take camping and all this kind of stuff. And it was about a $25,000 car, and I very quickly learned that it was really too much money, and I didn't have the luxury of spending that much money on a leased car as I thought I did when I got it. So instead, what I did is I got out of the lease. I was able to sell the lease to CarMax, and I bought a Toyota Corolla, about 10 years old. It was a 2006 Toyota Corolla. And I bought it for $5,500 cash, and I had no more car payment. And in this video I want to keep it really simple, go over a spreadsheet on my computer, and just show you over a 9-year period, so that would be 3 lease periods, how much money you save really by owning a reliable, good used car that you paid for with cash versus leasing, $20,000-$30,000 car. Okay, so I did a really simple spreadsheet, just kind of go through what the numbers look like. And for these 2 columns, you can see this is the lease Crosstrek it was about a $25,000 car. And then here's my used 2006 Corolla that I bought for cash. So here are the basics. This table are kind of the basics of info, and then I go through year 1 and down. And then I go over here and just show you the totals. But just to go over it real quick, so the lease Crosstrek was $230 a month plus $2,000 down, or initial, whereas the used Corolla I bought outright for $5,500. Insurance was a lot more with the Crosstrek. Had to have a lot extra higher insurance because it was leased, and I was also pretty young still at the time. So that was $160 a month. And then we had $35 a month for the used Corolla because it was a lot less coverage and just a lot cheaper. Registration and sales tax for the Crosstrek was built into the price, whereas that first year when I bought registration, when I bought the Corolla, there was $200 or so of registration, and then sales tax was like a little over $400. And then gas, I'm just going to say it's about the same. The Corolla has pretty good gas mileage. Crosstrek had pretty good gas mileage. Oil changes, about the same. Smog, same. Every 2 years, $60. Maintenance and repairs. So the Crosstrek would be under warranty, so there won't be any really repairs. And then for the used Corolla, I really haven't had much repair. I've had like preventative stuff that I've done a little bit, but I'm putting $300 a year. So over this 9-year period, that'd be $2,700 that we would potentially see in repairs. So let's just go through year 1. Year 1 is the closest that we see. So the total cost just to lease it and pay the monthly payments for the Crosstrek, $4,700 versus outright buying the used Corolla for $5,500. And like I said, insurance is way cheaper, and then registration, sales tax was the one thing that, the sales tax specifically when I bought it, that was a little bit of chunk of change. Gas the same, oil change, and then here we go. So a little bit different, a little bit more for the used Corolla in that first year, not by much, but we start to see in year 2, we can see a huge difference. So it's $5,800 for the Crosstrek versus $2,000 for the Corolla. So you're saving $3,700 each year, which is massive. I mean, that's amazing. Basically, you just don't have any car payment. Insurance is still much lower. Registration, yes. And then all things else equal. The only caveat in this whole thing is if you had like a transmission go out where you had to at that point, if it's going to cost $2 or $3 grand, you might as well maybe buy a new car. So that is one thing. But I specifically bought the Toyota Corolla because I know that at least I played the numbers, right? So like I know it's a fairly reliable car overall, and knock on wood, hopefully it'll keep running for a long time. So I just did 3 years here, and it kind of stays the same. But in this simulation, or whatever you want to call it, basically I say you would be getting a new lease every 3 years, and we do that for 9 years, so 3 leases. And assuming you don't get, so this is a $25,000 car, assuming you don't go up even higher as years go on, because you may, inflate your lifestyle, you get a new job, whatever it is. But let's just say you maintain right at a $25,000 car. So even with that, so that first year is, the Corolla actually, it's actually cheaper to own the Crosstrek. Well, you don't own it, but lease it by about $200. But after that, it really is apparent how much money you're going to be saving. So in year 2, you save $3,800, and then when you get a new lease, I'm assuming you're going to pay another $2,000 down. That's $5,800 almost, and then ultimately, so after 9 years, you would have saved almost $34,000 by owning a used car for 9 years versus doing 3 lease periods with 3 new cars, which you'll spend $58,000 or so versus $24,000. So that's pretty cool to see just how much difference it really can be. And then I just, for fun, I said, okay, well, what if you invested the difference each year? So in year 1 we had 0 and minus, so we would start investing with an 8% return. We'd actually be at $39,600, so nearly $40,000 that you would save, you would save and then gain an additional like $6,000 being in the stock market if you chose to do that. So yeah, just some cool things to think about as far as leasing versus buying used. I'm a big, obviously just based on these numbers, big proponent of buying a used car. And watch my other videos, because I'm even a bigger proponent of living close to work and then not even having to use your car too much and instead bike to work. I think that's when you take your savings rate in relation to a car to a whole new level. So thanks for joining. I'll see you in the next video. Please subscribe.